Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here, and a little bit of 5E Baron back up in his piece in the form of their Two Tails Pils. This is coming straight from Canada, courtesy of 5E Baron and my boy Jacob. This is a 5% Pilsner. That's all you get. They don't give you anything. They give you a date in the bottom, which you always like. So we're looking at this being less than 2 weeks old. And it just says Pilsner. Awesome label design. I dig on their labels. So we'll see what's what now. I'm kind of expecting a lot here. I already ripped their Kolsch. Maybe I'll post the Kolsch in this one at the same time. That was like... That was a good Kolsch. So I'm kind of expecting the world here, and we're off to a fantastic start. So like I said, dig on that label. Beer-wise, man... Look at how clear it is. You have this nice kind of straw color to it. It has the slightest little bit of a haziness kind of to it. But it really is ultra hyper clear for a relatively small brewery with just a beautiful snow globe-like, almost champagne level kind of carbonation to it. Just that white as white could be kind of head. I mean, it looks all the part of like ultra crispy boy status. Let's see what the nose knows. Not much there. Kind of expected, with the way the beer looks, how light it is. Didn't expect a huge impact on the nose. If I'm really reaching, I'm going for a slight little, like, very crackery, bleached kind of crackery malt, like plain, not a Ritz cracker, you know what I'm talking premium cracker kind of maltiness to it with really just a ever so slightest bit of just a generic bittering hop, and we're done. There's really not much else to it. Not that I was expecting that to be a huge beer based off of the looks, but maybe a little melon there, maybe a touch of it. But it smells the part of a craft version of what I would assume would be like kind of a mackerel kind of lager. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. That's fucking delicious. And it's impactful, man. The nose is a little okie doke, it's a little rope-a-dope. There's just a lot to be had here. I mean, the malt side of things, it is quite light. But you are getting maybe a slight little nutty characteristic to it. Nothing too crazy, nothing too toasty, nothing too, above that kind of, when I say premium cracker, I call it like a saltine, basic kind of cracker is what I'm talking about. But there is something there. It's just not base. Now, on the other side of things, there is this really cool kind of fluttering kind of hop thing. I assume it's going to be Germany's Aussie level stuff, because there definitely isn't a melon component here in this nice kind of powerful and purposeful bittering for the kind of beer it is and the way the malt kind of shows here, because it's not a huge beer in general impact, obviously. It's a 5% Pilsner. But the way it dances back and forth between that sweet little maltiness and that nice kind of little melony bitterness, kind of, it shows way bigger than a nose would lead you to believe. Now, it is 5%, so, that's not a super tiny ABV kind of Pilsner. That's really good. Like, really good. Like, squeaky clean. Good. God damn. This is not like hyperbole, man. This is like that's two back to back. That's back to back. Like, one's a Kolsch, so it's not a lager, but crispy boys that are executed like precision level stuff. I am hyper impressed. Like, hyper impressed. Man, this is good. God damn. I don't even know what else to say, because it really is beautiful in its simplicity. And I say that in a way that it's like, it is, the nose gives you a little bit of kind of, not really getting much there, a little fluttering of this, but what I get in the taste is actually there in the nose, but in such a small amount, but so it kind of tricks you into thinking it's going to be a much smaller beer. I'm regurgitating a lot of stuff I've already said, but I think it deserves another round, I guess you would say, because while not overtly complex, there's just this really cool the snappiness of the beer, the way the bittering kind of comes off with being purposeful without being heavy-handed in such a light beer. The maltiness while retaining a little nutty, like little crackery thing, but without being bold. This cool little whole melon kind of zazzy kind of cantaloupe underripened kind of, not cantaloupe, honeydew underripened kind of thing going on. It's really, really, really cool. The only thing I'm going to bitch about is the same thing I bitched about in the other beer. I want this 3%, 2%. I want it negative 4%. 5% I think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that with this beer, but I think it can be done at 4 and stay exactly the way it is. So it's not so much a nitpick or a bitch or a moan. It's more just me wanting what I want because I want it because I'm like the Veruca Salt of beer. But yeah, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Is this one of the better Pilsners I've had as late? Mount Rushmore status. First face on the mountain, son. Yes. That's how it is. That's how it is. And I feel I'm very self-conscious. It doesn't come off that way. It seems like I'm very hyper confident. But I always feel like people might think I'm like, oh, it's Jacob. He was a channel watcher. He opened a brewery. He sent me beer. I'm going to give it just good marks for the sake of good marks. I can't tell you how much that is. It's not the case. It's like, I think it ends up being a little bit more, it shouldn't be this way, but it ends up being a little more daunting of a task because, I feel like I need to be 100% honest because this is far, far, far removed from homebrew, but it's much the same thing as homebrew where you just want to give your honest opinion to your friends. You don't want to just say, I like it just to say I like it. And when I say it's that good, it's just that good. And there's no punches being pulled. Absolutely fantastic, dude. Like the best Pilsner I've had in a long time. And I drink a lot of Pilsner. Anyway, there you go. I'm gonna actually. They sent me a few beers, but they sent me a barrel-aged beer. I'm really curious about. I'm gonna drink that tonight. So I'm curious. Could go away from the little crispy boy stuff. Step up to the big leagues. We'll see where that goes. So anyway, I'll try to post this with the Kolsch. And just say this is one of the better Pilsners I've had. I was like, yes, without a doubt. Value and availability, don't know. Anybody who knows the world of, Quebec beer in this brewery and availability and all that fun stuff. I know Jacob knows, but anybody else out there who's had these beers, let me know your experiences with them. And let's jump to that. Have you been in the brewery? Have you had the beers? Have you had this beer? Have you had this beer? Have you had the Kolsch, which is Robes? And have you had, other Kolsches? And do you really dig on pills? And where does this sit for you as far as what you dig on beer? Because I really need to know. All that fun stuff down there. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you enjoyed a review. Hopefully enjoying some bills as good as this one. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.